Hi! It's Tuesday. Or technically, kind of a Monday because it's day after Memorial Day. And now, I go back to work. And I don't want to. I enjoyed my 3 days off. Hope you all had a fantastic Memorial Day weekend if you were able to enjoy it. You know, living in the capitalist hellscape that is America, I'm sure a lot of you didn't. But yeah, I know it's been a minute since I've been on here. Made a video because I just haven't had a lot of ambition to do it lately, and just haven't. Like, just kind of, and I honestly, I do know a lot of things. It's just what's going on in the world, especially here in America. It really takes a toll, man. Because that first 4 years was the same thing. It was every morning, wake up, what the fuck? Or multiple times a day, what the fuck? Now you have Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security is basically everybody's going, yeah, fuck this, I'm out. Because she's subjecting them or threatening constantly to subject them to polygraph tests because they want to find leakers. Well, quit doing shit to cause a problem. I think it's a really simple solution that this current administration could, get past if they would just quit doing shit that people aren't going to like, that are newsworthy. It's not hard to do the right thing. I am really trying to figure out, and there are things I don't get, which is a lot because I am just a floof. But there are things I don't get. I don't get bigotry in any form. Like, as I've seen before, I'm not going to judge you on your skin color, your social status, your sexuality, none of that shit. But I'm going to judge you on how you drive and what you drive. Because if you're going to go 5 below the speed limit in the fast lane during rush hour, you're going to be judged. You own a swastika car, you're going to be judged harshly. And also because they just suck anyway. They're crappy vehicles. And, I'm not a fan of Hyundai Kia because they're kind of shit. To be perfectly honest, they are. They've never been good vehicles. They're definitely better than when we first got to these shores, but they're not very good. Something like that. So I don't get it. I don't get... because I see so much, especially because now we have the racist in chief. These people are coming out of the fucking woodwork. Like, I should just be able to say what I want. Well, you can. Well, you absolutely can. Like, I love these people. I don't violate my free speech. I'm not violating your free speech. I'm not the fucking government. I have every right to use my free speech to call your bigoted, stupid ass out, because I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. If you say hateful, shitty things about people for something they can't change, then you are a really hateful, shitty person, and you need to look at your own life and maybe figure out why you're so fucking unhappy. These fucking white men, it's primarily white men, that whine because they can't say what they want. Well, you can. You're just going to pay for it if you say the wrong things. And there are wrong things. Using the F slur, using the R slur, using the N slur. Treating people like they're less than you because they are any of those 3 things. Yeah. You're going to get called out for it now. And I'm really glad that we got to that point in society. But there was going to be a point where there's going to be pushback. Every time there's advance, there's pushback. And we're going to go through this for a minute. we got to go through this to get to where we need to be, because we have been such a conservative, well, not really, but on the surface, a conservative society in this country, that people are pushing back. Every time we get forward, we get pushed back because those people have held the power because of how our government is set up. That was by design, to make sure that slave-owning, land-owning white people had more say than the majority. That was the setup, because our founders were slave-owning white people, landowners. They wanted to make sure they had more say than your average drone in the northern states, or even the southern states. It might be like, maybe we shouldn't own people. Or maybe we should do things to help out everybody. And we fought. Every once in a while we'll get a great progressive warrior like Teddy Roosevelt or Franklin Roosevelt that'll come through, and even Lyndon Johnson did a lot to some extent. Just push through and go, we're going to fucking do this. And then we get an advance, and then we get a pullback. The New Deal is being dismantled before our very eyes. It has been for the last 30 fucking years. Thanks, Bill Clinton. You started this shit. Because we have a lot of liberals who, well, we gotta work with them. Or a lot of liberals that go, well, if we just, we can be conservative too. No, that's not what we want. The DNC wants to spend $20 million to figure out how to talk to young men. Because why can't we get that demographic to vote for us? Why did we lose so much this last election? As I saw, the Humanist Report and a few other people come out and say, you don't need to learn to talk to them. Okay? You don't. But when you fuckers have power, you don't do anything. And anything you do is technocratic, and people don't understand it, and so they don't think you did anything. Like, Biden's infrastructure bill was huge. It has done, it's going to get stopped, but it has done a lot of good things for our infrastructure, but nobody sees that. All they see are orange cones, and are pissed off because now they're late for work. Even though the end result is going to be better for them. People don't quite understand that at the moment. Y'all had power. You had massive momentum after the pandemic in 21 to do Medicare for all. People were all like, I have medical bills for my husband, my mom, my dad, my kid, whoever, dying from COVID because they didn't have insurance, didn't have enough insurance, or didn't have the right kind of insurance. I have these massive bills now. Or I survived, but I have $38,000 in medical debt. You had momentum. You could have Medicare for all passed, enacted before the elections in 22. We wouldn't be here. That one simple thing you could have done. But we have this attitude in this country that capitalism, no matter what, everything needs to be commoditized. Unless somebody can make money off it, why should we do it? Because not everything is a money-making venture. Healthcare and education are two of the big ones. You don't make money off of those things. Those things are done because they're part of the public good, and they do better for everybody. When everybody does better, we all do better. And then we can actually get to a society where we have less people living on the streets, less people addicted to drugs, because they're not living in a situation where they feel the need that the only thing they got left is drugs. Desperate people do desperate things. And when your reality is, I'm living on the street, haven't had a shower in 6 months, I don't know where my next meal's coming from, let alone I can't remember the last one I had. And all I keep getting told is that I'm a horrible person because I'm living on the street because I got laid off from my job and I couldn't find another one. So I lost my place to live. More of us are closer to that person. Being the strung out, homeless person you see on Colfax. A lot of those people weren't there before. They weren't drug users before they lost their place to live. They just happened to lose their job. Or their rent got too high and they fell behind and they couldn't fix it. Then they lost their apartment. Then they lost their job. And they lost their car. And now everything they have is in that stupid shopping cart they found or they stole. And someone says, here's an escape. And they take it. That's the world we're heading towards. None of you remember the 80s. Well, a lot of you don't. I was a child in the 80s, but I do remember seeing how bad things were. How dirty cities looked. And then in the 90s, even though there was a lot of neoliberal policies that forced people to work for their assistance and everything else and stupid shit that was all conservative ideas, we had prosperity because we had jobs. People got back to work. These people found ways to get out of their situation and they got back to work. And then George W. Bush came along and Obama kind of didn't really do a lot to help. He tried, but he's conservative too. And now we're back to where we are, and we're going to go right back into the whole 70s thing, because that was all because of Nixon. It's going to suck. But I'll come back to, I don't understand why Republicans hate poor people, why they hate people of color, why they hate gays, why they hate. It takes so much energy. Love is so much easier. Love and acceptance. But I gotta get ready for work. So, hope y'all have a fantastic Tuesday. I don't know when I'll do these anymore. It's a mood thing now, because the ambition just isn't there. I'm just burned out from life and the world at the moment, and I just don't have a lot of energy. So, thank you so much for watching, and I love you all.